Okay, so good morning or afternoon, depending on when you watch this. So I did want to go over another problem like what we did in class yesterday, where we're going to use the integral test, but we're going to apply partial fractions. So this PDF is already uploaded, and I'll add the video that goes along with it. And so you see we have the summation n equals 4 to infinity for the fraction 4 over n squared, subtract n, subtract 6. So the first thing we want to do is factor the denominator. And so when we factor the denominator, we have x subtract 3 multiplied by x plus 2. Okay, so what I did here is I found when when x is 5, we will solve to find what b is. And when a is -2, we'll find what b is. So I got -4/5. So when x is -2, I solved for b. I got -4/5. When x was 3, I got a equals 4/5. So now with that being said, I rewrite in partial fraction and in using the integral rule. So we use partial integration. We have the limit as in, I should have put an x there. The limit as x approaches infinity from 4 to t, 4/5 over 1 minus x minus 3 minus 1 over x plus 2 dx. What I did was I took out the 4/5 since a and b both have a 4/5, but that b had a negative, so that's where the minus here comes from. Okay, then we can integrate, so we know that 1 over x subtract 3 becomes the natural log x subtract 3 minus the natural log of x plus 2, and that is from 4 to t. And if you see here, I did use t to infinity. I should have used that up here. I already wrote this out, and as you know, my pen gives me a fit, so I just went ahead and kept the PDF and re-recording the video. So now here, in the last class, we took the natural logs and we went ahead and made this natural log of the absolute value x subtract 3 over the natural log x plus 2, but for this example, I'm going to do it differently just to show it another way. So now we can go ahead and substitute for t and substitute for 4. So the next part here, what I did was I did natural log of t subtract 3 minus the natural log of t plus 2. That was using t. Then subtract the natural log of 4 minus 3. Subtract the natural log of x plus 2, which is 4 plus 2. So from here, you can simplify the 4 minus 3 to a 1. You can simplify the 4 plus 2 to a 6. However, I want us to really take notice that this minus is going to distribute through the parentheses here. So this would be a minus natural log of 1, and this would become a plus natural log of 6, absolute value 6. Okay, so think about that as we go into the next. I rewrote it. I did go ahead and with the first part, I wrote my fraction of t subtract 3 over t plus 2. And then I just reordered my natural log 6, which is what I said here for the positive, and my minus the natural log of 1. And so now that I've done this step, I can write it in the form that I've done with my t minus 3 and t plus 2. So looking here, I have now wrote natural log of 6, the absolute value of 6 divided by 1, which is 6. And we can apply L'Hopital's rule, which tells us we can to take the limit, we can differentiate the numerator and the denominator. So the derivative of t minus 3 is 1. The derivative of t plus 2 is also 1. So that's where this 1 here comes from. Then we know the natural log of 1 is 0. And the natural log of 6 we can leave. So that will become 4/5 times the natural log of 6. And that you can leave that as your answer. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out through email or, stop by my office if I'm in there, that I can work with you through a problem. And I hope you guys have a safe break and see you next class.